All right, taking a look here at the QQQ. Switch over here to this weekly chart. As you can see, we made new all-time highs here back in July, and then we set an intermediate high here in August. And since then, we spent a couple days above this key level right here. And since then, we've been just below that, sitting under the 10-day moving average and just above this 20-day moving average right here. We'll just go over to this intraday time frame right here so you can see this a little bit better, a little bit more close up. If we flip over here to the SPY actually is sitting here at new all-time highs. So you can see here that recently we just broke above this level that we set back here in July, and the SPY is trading at new all-time highs and holding above this previous breakout right here. So pretty positive and bullish for the S&P 500. Taking a look at some of these sectors that have been performing very well. First up, we have XLC. This is going to be the communication services sector. And as you can see here, this is one of the market leaders. Next up, we have XHB. This is going to be the Home Builders ETF. Home Builders has been on absolute fire. And as we switch over here to the weekly chart, you can see this is another one of the leading sectors in the market here. Now we've got SMH. This is going to be the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. This is on a monthly RSI. This is still one of the leaders in the marketplace. Flip over here to this monthly chart just so you can see how well the SMH semiconductor sector has been performing. And then if we zoom in here a little bit more, very similar setup to the QQQ, where we've got this intermediate high that was set back here on August 22nd. And since then, we've been trying to get back above this high. So definitely want to see the QQQ, the NASDAQ, and SMH, these semiconductors, break above this August 22nd level and hold this level up here. All right, and then we also have XLI. This is going to be another one of the leading sectors, and this is going to be the industrial select sector right here. So this is where you're going to find most of your industrial names, and as you can see, this has been another one of the market leaders. And then finally, to close out our market leaders for sectors, we also have the financials. Financials have been doing pretty well, and they're another one of the leaders. All right, so let's take a look at the earnings winners from Q2. So first up, we've got Powell. This is going to be one of the electrical industrial players. So they are part of this AI trade, and that's going to be a common theme that we see here in these stocks that have moved 20% and more since reporting. So as you can see here, Powell has broken out to new all-time highs, sitting here at 233. They reported earnings back here on this date, July 30th, and since they have reported, the stock is up 73.8%. All right, so next up we have Palantir. This is one of the pure AI software plays. They do enterprise software for both private and the public sector. They've got a lot of defense contracts, but they also have contracts with publicly traded companies and financials and other sectors as well. Palantir, they're up 55% since they reported their earnings here, and we will actually if we flip over here to this monthly chart, you can see the direct listing. We're well above this direct listing price, and we're approaching all-time highs that were set back here in January of 2021. And if we just flip this over to the weekly chart, you can see that a little bit better. And then this is our view of the daily chart here. So what's really got my attention with this chart is if we can break out from this previous kind of high right here that we made back in, I want to say probably 2020, I want to say. 2021. So this high that we made right here in 2021, basically I'm looking at this chart like this is going to be a good breakout point for Palantir. If we can push above that level, I think we could push off to new all-time highs. It might take a quarter for this to happen. It might take the next Q3 earnings reports for it to break above this key level, but it is something that I have my eye on. Next up, we've got Fortinet. Fortinet is going to be one of the cybersecurity players, and they are currently up 39% since they reported earnings. They reported back here on the 6th of August, and it's been off to the races ever since. And then I'm going to zoom out here so that we can see this previous all-time high was set back here in July of 2023 at 81.24, and so that's basically the level that I'm kind of eyeing right here. If we can break above this level, I'm thinking it'll probably be Q3, but if we can break above this level into new all-time highs, the stock could have plenty of room to run to the upside. All right, next up we've got Parsons. So Parsons is somewhat of a defense company, like a digital defense company. They're also involved with industrial industrial services like cybersecurity defense. They're in the transportation sector, urban development. But Parsons, they do a lot of different things. I consider them kind of like a defense company, kind of on the tech side of things. And Parsons is up 36% since they reported earnings, and this has just been up, up and away and off to the races. A very good looking chart here. Definitely, extend to the upside. If we look here at this RSI, it's an overbought territory, so this isn't something that I would look to buy or anything like that, but just something to keep in mind. If this were to pull back into like this 50-day moving average, it could be a good buy if we were to pull back. All right, we've got Comfort Systems here. Comfort Systems, they're one of the industrial air conditioning stocks. So residential, industrial uses. This is one of the air conditioning stocks that I like a lot. So it's part of the AI trade. All these data centers that need a lot of cooling. Comfort Systems, they're up 35% since they reported their earnings. And as you can see here, basically we've been building this flat base since about April of this year, and we have broken out of this flat base, and we are off into new all-time high territory. Like this long-term I like the long-term chart here. Zooming in, like I said, we just broke out to these new all-time highs. I'm liking that company. Next up, we've got Sprouts Farmers Market. Sprouts Farmers Market. This has been one of the better stocks for me the last 2 quarters. We are up, I want to say 30% since we reported for the quarter. And as you can see here, we got a pretty big gap up. And then after that, we've just been steadily marching higher here. So we're currently sitting at 111.96 right there on Sprouts Farmers Market. Here we've got Builders First Source. So Builders First Source is up 30% since they reported their earnings. They did miss on the revenue. So they did, have a slight revenue miss right here. But the stock market has decided to bid this higher. So this is one of the companies that's been bid higher. It is part of the Home Builders Group. So this is, just strength that we're seeing in that sector. Next up, we have Arista Networks. Arista Networks, this is another one of the AI data center plays. Basically, all of the networking equipment that needs to move all of that information data around inside the data center, they make the networking equipment, and that's what they specialize in, is networking. This stock, like I said, it's part of the AI trade. Coming out here to this monthly chart, very, very good monthly chart, market leader. And we just recently broke out to these new all-time highs here on Arista Networks. This is, like I said, one of the AI plays. All right, next up we've got Uber. So Uber is essentially, when I look at this chart, I like to go out to the monthly chart here. So Uber IPO came out, peaked, made this, this high right here. Since then, it had rallied up, peaked again, came back down, and then we've rallied up above this level and above this level. So the way I'm looking at this is essentially Uber's looks like it's building a flat base right now on top of this previous high. So if we can, move above this 82.14 level, I'm guessing this will probably happen. Q3 earnings report is probably what would nudge this higher. But if we can break above this 82.14 level, this would definitely have my attention as a breakout buy candidate. All right, we've got our second air conditioning stock on here, AAON. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but this is another one of the industrial air conditioning stocks. AAON is up 23% since they reported their earnings. And as you can see here, once again, we broke out from this previous all-time high here, and it's just been off to the races. So I like this setup. This chart looks very good, and it's part of that air conditioning trend, so it's part of the AI trade as well. All right, here we've got the Trade Desk. The Trade Desk, this is a company that specializes in basically digital software to manage ad campaigns. So you come here, you got an ad campaign or something that you're running. They've got a bunch of digital tools for you to be able to run that ad campaign with. And as you can see here, this stock made a previous high back here in November of 2021. So that's essentially 2 years that we're trying to get up back above these levels. So I'm kind of with some of the other stocks. I'm guessing Q3 earnings is what's going to break us above this level right here and push us into new all-time high territory. All right, we've got Catalyst Pharmaceuticals. So this is what's it like a boutique commercial stage pharmaceutical company. They specialize in rare genetic conditions. I think it's like muscular along with neuromuscular and neurological diseases is kind of what their specialty is. Once again, you can see previous high here was made back in January of 2023. We're getting back near those levels. My guess, Q3 earnings report is what's gonna power this higher to new all-time highs. All right, we got BWX Technologies. BWX Technologies is a company that specializes in basically nuclear components. Um, so nuclear right now, there's this whole, there's huge demand for energy with electrification of the U.S. grid, EVs, and the whole data center trend. So they are trying to revive nuclear in the U.S. I've seen that basically some projects are starting to get greenlit, and this is starting to get off the ground. So this company could be a huge beneficiary of a renewed nuclear renaissance inside the U.S. Just broke out to new all-time highs, and since they reported, they are up 22.4%. All right, here we have Parker Hannifin. Parker Hannifin is basically a company that's really specialized in industrial range and motion control. So they'd be like hydraulics, pneumatics, electromechanical components, filtration systems, things like that. And they also have an aerospace segment as well. Same kind of thing: flight control systems, hydraulic systems, pneumatic systems, fuel systems. So this is an industrial play right here, and they're doing very, very well. And they are up 22% since they have reported earnings. Here we have D.R. Horton. This is one of the home builders. D.R. Horton is up, I believe, 20% since they reported their earnings. And as you can see here, D.R. Horton is sitting at new all-time highs right in here since they came out with that earnings report. They reported on the 17th, July 17th, and since then it's just been up, up, and away. All right, we've got Facebook next. So Facebook, this is one of the AI hyperscalers along with Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. They are putting a lot of money towards their AI build out and towards their compute resources. And they're probably set up pretty well to capitalize on to monetize their AI, basically the AI work that they've been doing. They've got a very large ad network. A lot of people buy ads through Facebook, Instagram, etc. So if they can really get this generative AI up in the ad space, it could be a big revenue producer for them. But not only that, they're also on top of the open source models. So there's a lot that can be built upon their Llama, their Llama AI models. And Meta is up 20.7%. Next up, we have Omcor. This is a electrical I would say like an electrical services company. A lot of things related to like power transmission, distribution, generation systems, things like that. So if you're building a data center, you're probably gonna have to consult Omcor about setting up that substation, things like that. And this has been another one of the beneficiaries of the AI trade. So like I've been saying, it's not just the chip companies that are going to benefit from the AI trade. It's not just the hyperscalers. You've also got electrical industrials and industrial air conditioning that's going to benefit from that as well. And Omcor is up 20% since they reported. And then the last company that we have here is ServiceNow. ServiceNow is a um, ServiceNow is an enterprise software company, and they're set up pretty well to monetize the AI trends right now. It's something they've been looking at for the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, their business is all about automating enterprise processes. So this is another company that's done pretty well. ServiceNow is up 20% since they reported their earnings as well.